Hmm. Hello friends, last class I discussed, last two lectures I have discussed about the realization of the K-map for POS and SOP expression. So if you have the Boolean expression, complex Boolean expression, how can you minimize the those complex expression by using the K-map that I discussed, right? So there are the two kinds of the expressions. One is the product of sum and other is the product of sum of product, right? So you can minimize those kind of expressions by using K-map, Carnot map. Okay. So when we use the Carnot map, so that time we have to do the grouping or grouping, right? Grouping of adjacent one, right? So suppose if you have any kind of the K-map, so K-map we used to put a logic 1 or logic 0. We used to put logic 1 for SOP expression, we used to put logic 0 for POS expression. So after putting logic 1, suppose if you consider the SOP, after putting the logic 1 in K-map, we have to do the grouping, okay? So sometimes we used to confuse how many groupings should be considered for a particular, for getting the minimization form of the expression, how many groupings should be considered, right? So sometimes we used to get confused. Right, so for that there are some specific rules for creating grouping. Okay, if you create a suppose four groups, so whether four groups are required to consider for writing the final expression. So these some rules we have to follow. If we follow those rules, we can easily find out how many groupings should be required for how many groupings should be considered for writing the expression. Okay, for that we have to consider some terms, right? First is the some rules we have to follow. So under these rules we have some terms. Okay, so suppose first is the mean implicants. Okay, first term is the implicants. First term is the implicants. Okay, so there are the lots of terms, so I have to consider those terms and those rules for getting the minimized expression. Okay, so first is the mean implicants. So what is this implicants? Implicants, suppose in K-map you have so you have one function, and according to those function you put a logical one in those cells. Okay, we are using four variable cell, so you have one function. From function you have to understood that, so you have to put logical one in those cells. Okay, right? Now what is the implicant? Every individual one. Okay, every individual one signifies the implicants. Every individual one which is present in the Carnot map signifies the implicants. And apart from this individual, okay, every individual one signifies the implicants. Apart from the implicants, if these two can create group, okay, these two also can create group. This is also implicants. All other groups, either it is pair or it is quad or it is octal, all other groups we are not considering some groups are under in other group or not. If individual, first is the individual main one, that means all the midterm, these are the mean terms, right? These are the mean terms. So according to mean term I am putting logical one in the K-map. Okay, so every individual one can defined as a implicants. And apart from this thing, so if you create a group, suppose group of one, okay, and group of quad, group of octal, okay, these are the these are the also implicants. Okay, implicant means every individual ones and every individual mean terms. Okay, these are defined as implicant. And if you think about the grouping, any kind of the group, either it is pair or it is quad or it is octal, any kind of grouping can be considered as a implicant, right? Now come to the higher version of the implicant, that is the prime implicant. Now I am come to the prime implicant. For considering the prime implicant, first I have to do the grouping. Okay, prime implicant means largest possible largest possible group which is covered adjacent one, largest possible group which is covered by adjacent one. Okay. Okay, this is the prime implicant. Largest possible group which includes adjacent one. Okay, so I am showing you the one example here. So here I am drawing K map. Okay, I am drawing K map. So there are the four variable KMF 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am marking the KMF 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are the total 16 cells in four variable KMF, all of you know. So right, so I am putting logical 1 in some cells, okay. So I am putting logical 1 in these cells, okay. So there is one example. According to this example, I have mentioned logical one in those cells. Okay. So now every individual one can be under the implicates that I told. Every individual one can be under implicates. Okay. So here you can see this two one can create pair. 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 This two one also can create pair. Whatever pairing is possible, all pairings are under the implicant. Okay, right. So suppose 4 5 5 7 7 6 13 15 5 13, okay, and 39, all are the implicants. But when you come to the prime implicant, so prime implicant cannot be considered under, so all prime implicants should be under the implicants, but all implicants should not be prime implicants. Why? In the prime implicants, if we see in the prime implicants prime implicants pi, okay, in prime implicants, so maximum possible groups which includes adjacent one. Okay, so these two, 1 4 5, that can create pair, but without pairing these four along with these two one, you have two more ones, right? Along with these two one, and we have two more ones. Okay, so rather considering 4 5 pair, we have to consider this quad. Okay, 4 I'm writing at 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, rather considering pair, we have to consider the, if along with 4, 5, we have the total 4 ones, adjacent ones. So I have to consider the quad. Okay, 4, 5, 7, 6. Right? So 4, 5, 7, 6 is a prime implicant. Okay. You cannot tell as a 4 5 as a prime implicant, because along with 4 5 you have the 7 6 also. So rather considering 4 5 and pair and 7 6 pair, we have to consider the 4 5 7 6 as a quad. Okay, so 4 5 6 7 is a prime implicant. Among 4 5 6 7 you can see 4 5 as a implicant. Okay, so that means what is the, any adjacent both pair can be implicant, but the, if along with this pair, if quad is possible, so the quad will be under the prime implicant. The 4 5 should not be prime implicant, because along with by using the 4 5 you can create the maximum possible group, that is quad. That means 4 5 6 7 is a prime implicant. Okay. Now come to the here. Now come to the here I am writing PI. Okay. First is the 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now come to the 5, 7, 13, 15. 5, 7, 13, 15. Okay. So now you can see 5 and 7, these are implicant. But along with the 5 and 7, you have the 13 and 15 also. Or if you see 13 and 15, it cannot be prime implicant, because so by using 13, 15, you can create a quad. Okay. So in that quad 5 and 7s are also included, right? So that means 13, 15, 5, 7, all fours can create one prime implicant. But in here, if you see the 5, 7 and 13, 15, these are implicant. But 5, 7 can create a pair, but this is not prime implicant. Okay, in the definition of the prime implicant, that means maximum possible possible group should be possible, by which includes the adjacent one. Okay. Now here also 14, 15 is the implicant, but not prime implicant. Okay, because by using the 14, 15 you can create a quad. Okay, so this is also prime implicant, right? Now come to the this pair. Okay, so individually 14, 15 can create pair, but this pair is only under the implicant because this is not prime implicant, because along with by using the 14, 15 you can create a quad. That quad is a prime implicant, right? Now come to the 9. Okay, so here you can see 9. 9 can only create pair with the 13. 9 cannot be created quad. Okay, so by using the 9 maximum possible in the group, how it is possible? By using the pair only you can create a group. So without pair you cannot create a quad. Okay, that means the 9, 13 is a prime implicant. Okay, but here 14, 15 this can create pair, but this cannot be under the prime implicant because these are under implicant. So for prime, first you have to check maximum possible group, maximum group. Okay, maximum possible group. Okay, the size of the group should be more like octal, quad, and so here you can see the 9 and 13 these are implicant, and this is also prime implicant. Okay, this is implicant as well as a prime implicant, because so by using 9, 13 you cannot create a larger size of the group, you can only create the pair. So this is the prime implicant. Okay, I hope it is clear for you what is the prime implicant and what is the implicant. Okay, so next term is the essential prime implicant. Okay, next term is the essential prime implicant. Okay, so essential prime implicant. Okay, so what is the essential prime? I told you the implicants. So implicants are normally, but for writing the expression, you have to consider the prime implicants. Okay. So now come to the essential prime implicants. So for writing the minimum expression, minimized expression, you have to consider only the essential prime implicants, not prime implicants. For writing the minimized expression, you have to only consider the essential prime implicant, not prime implicant. So suppose in the previous example I told that 4 5 prime implicants are there, but it is not necessary to write 4 5 prime implicants in the final expression for getting the minimized expression. Okay, all the prime implicants are not necessary to write in a final expression for getting the minimized expression. Okay, so now I'll show you. um, okay, one more example I'm showing you. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 sorry. Okay, 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Okay, right? So some one more example is there. In that example you can understand that. So you have the logical one in those cell 4 5 6 7 9 13 15 14. Okay, now first we have to, don't worry about the implicant. First we have to consider the how many prime implicants are there in this example. Okay, so whatever maximum grouping should be possible, that I have to consider. Whatever maximum possible octal or quad should be possible, that I will first check. Okay, so now we can see. So these 4 can create a one group, right? 4 5 suppose it is A B C D. I'm writing all the terms. Okay, 4 5 6 7. Okay, this is one group, first group. Now 4 5 6 7. Now come to the 5 6 13 14. Okay, 5 6 13 14. 5 6 13 14. This one is the second prime implicant. Okay, so these 4 can create a one quad. Now 7 6 14 15. 7 6 15 14. Third prime implicant. Okay, So I'm not grouping this thing. Again I'm doing. Okay. So this is the one, this is one, and this is one. Now 9 and 13. Okay. So these are all my PIs. Okay, prime implicant. Right. Now you can see. So 4, 5, 7, 6 is a one prime implicant. So quad is possible. Now for creating 13, 15, 13, 15, 5, 7. These four can create a one quad. So this is also sorry, this is 5 7. Okay, this is also second prime implicant. Then for the grouping of 14 15, you can create one quad, 14 15 7 6. This is also one prime implicant. Next is the 13 and 9, that is also prime. This is pair, but this pair, apart from this pair, so any quad is not possible, which includes the 9, right? So these are the prime implicants. So whatever maximum possible combination is possible, grouping is possible, that I have written. Okay. Now I have to consider I have to find out the essential prime implicant from prime implicants. How can you find? That means if you write the expression, all the prime implicants are not required to consider. Right. So first I am considering this in 4 5 7 6. Okay. Right. So 4 5 7 6 is not under other group. Essential prime implicants, I have to consider those prime implicants who, in suppose I have considered one group. I have to check if I consider this group. So whatever cells are there in this group, this cell should not be including other groups. This entire cell should not be including the other groups. Entire cells. Okay. 4 5, I may 4 may be including other group, or individually 5 may be grouping other, in maybe including other group, or 4 5, but all the cells when should not be including other groups. Okay, all the cells should not be including other groups. If suppose I am considering one group, in that group all the cells, all the numbers are included in other groups, so that is not the essential prime implicant. Okay. Now you can see 4 5 7 6. First I am checking 4 5 7 6. So this may be essential prime implicant. Right. Now I am checking. See. First, next this the middle, not middle one. This I am checking. 7 6 14 15. So 7 6. So 7 and 6 are included in this group, but 14 and 15 are not included in this group. Okay. So this is also essential prime implicant. Okay. So this I have to anyhow I have to consider, because this is left. This one is left. Okay. So 9 and 13. 9 and 13 also a essential prime implicant. Now come to the 5 7 13 14. You can see 5 is included in that group, 7 is including this group, 13 is also including this group, and 14 is also including this group. So in this group, whatever cells are there, whatever numbers are there, all the numbers are included in other three groups. Okay. So that's why it is not the essential prime implicant. So first I have to create all the prime implicants. Okay. First you have to create all the prime implicants. After that, so I have to check each individual prime implicants. Okay. So suppose 4 5 6 7, I can consider this is as essential prime implicant first. Okay. So now I do not come to the here, because you can see 5 and 7 both are included in here. Okay, that's why I will check this thing later. Okay. Now come to the here also 7 6 14 15. Okay, 7 6 is included here, but here you can see from the diagram also you can see this is can create one group, so this is not included in any other group, right? Okay. Now, so if you create this group, so this 13 is included in here, and this 15 also included in the third group. Okay. So that's why you will not consider, because anyhow I have to consider this group 9 and 13. Okay. So this is also prime implicant. Now I come to this group, this middle two group. Okay. This is fine. This is I also check. Now come to these two group. Okay. From these two group, which will be the essential prime implicant. So here also you can see. Now in these two group, if we see 5 7 13 14, 5 7 13, 5 7 is included here, 13 is also included here. Okay, but 14. Okay, right? 5 7 13 15. Sorry, it is 13, 15. 5, 7, 13, 15. Now you can see 5, 7 is included here, 13 is included here, right? Okay, so this 15 is not required because if we include 15, 15 is also included here, right? So better if we include 7, 6, 14, 15, right? So here also you can see, so among these two groups, 5, 7, 13, 15 and 6, 7, 14, 15, which group will be considered, right? So you can see if you consider 6, 7, 14, 15, okay, then you can see after choosing all the essential prime implicant, no one is left. Okay, so you can, it's not required to consider as a prime implicant. So if I suppose if we check, so all the group I have created, now we were checking which group we have to consider. Okay, suppose individual I am considering, individual group I am considering. So for considering the group, you have to check or and no one should be left. Okay, so I am considering this group, I am considering this group, I am considering this group. Now you can see all the metals are present in these three group. Okay, no one is left. So then I can left this is okay. I can cannot consider this is as a essential prime implicant. This 5, 7, 13, 15 all are included in these three prime implicants. By observing the KMF, you can easily understand that which can be the essential prime implicant, which cannot be the essential prime implicant. Okay. Next is the selective prime implicant. Next is the selective prime implicant. So this selective prime implicant is neither prime implicant nor essential prime implicant. Selective. Okay. Selective prime implicant. Okay. In selective prime implicant, I am putting logical one here. Okay. In selective prime implicant, you can see these are the group. Okay. Now I am doing the grouping. Okay, so these two one can create a one pair. Mm, this two one also can create a pair. Okay, these four one also can create a group quad, and these also can create a quad. Okay, so these two one, this four one, this four one, these four, all possible quad. I am just searching. Okay, first I have to find the prime implicant. Okay, first I have to search the prime implicant. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Now you can see, so these two are all the possible combination I checked. Okay, all the four ones. Okay, these two one, these two column, this four one, this entire four one, this four one can create a pair. Now I have to check which are the essential prime implicant. So for essential prime implicant, all of one should be covered. Okay. So now you can see these two are the outermost one. So anyhow I have to consider this group. Okay, this is 0, 1, 8, 9. Okay, this is essential prime implicant. Okay, so these are in middle, so this I will tell later. So outermost, this you can see, this is also essential prime. For covering the 7, 6, 14, 15, this group I have to consider. For covering 8, 9, 0, 1, okay, this group I have to consider, right? So for covering 7, 6, 14, 15, this group I have to consider, right? 7, 6, 14, 15. Okay, this is also essential prime implicant. Okay, now here you can see 12, 13, 15, 14. Okay, suppose I am considering 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, this group I am writing here. One more group I am writing here. 12, 13, 8, 9. Okay, suppose, so among these two groups, which group will be the essential prime implicant? Okay, suppose if we 12, 13, if we consider both the groups, suppose 12, 13, 14, 15 and 12, 13, 8, 9. 12, 13, 14, 15. So this and 12, 13, 8, 9. Okay, so now we can see that 12, 13 is already covered by this group. Okay, 12, 13, 14, 15. 12, 13 is already covered by this group. Okay, this group 12, 13, 8, 9. Okay. Now, again, if we see this group 12, 13, 15, 14, right? 15, 14 is already covered by this group. So, suppose if we have considered this group, right? So, in this group, you can see 14, 15 is covered by this one. Now, if you consider this group, 18, 9, 8 and 9 is covered by this one. Okay, so not required, because if you write both the groups, you can see 12, 13 is common here, 12, 13 is common here, 14, 15 is common here, and 89 is common here. Okay, so in this group, if you include both the group, so all the terms are common in each and every groups. Okay, right? So which term we will consider, right? So now you can see either you should consider 12, 13, 14, 15, or you should consider the 12, 13, 8, 9. Not required to consider the 12, 13, 14, 15, both the term. Okay, because if you consider both the terms, you can see in both the terms, whatever cells are there, all are common. And suppose if you consider this term, 12 is present here, 13 is present here, 14 is present here, 15 is present here, right? You can see this is not essential prime implicant, because if you write the essential prime implicant, say, or only one cell should be left, should not be covered by other groups. Okay, so here if you consider again, it is as a essential prime implicant. Now you can see 12 is covered here, 12 is 13 is covered here, 8 is covered here, 9 is covered. So at the same time, we cannot consider both the terms as essential prime implicant. Either this one, but if you remove those one, if you remove both groups, you can see 12, 13 is left. Okay, so that's why either you should consider this one or you should consider this one. Okay, if you both consider as essential prime implicant, so in these two groups you can see all the groups are common in other groups. Okay, so if you see this one, these all the groups are common in other groups. Okay, if you see this one, all the cells are common in other three groups. So at a time we cannot consider both the group. Okay, so or you cannot remove both the group also. If you remove both the group, 12, 13 will be but 12, 13 the individual, this cannot create a pair, because if you create pair, but because along with this 1, 14, 15 is there, so pairing should not be possible. You have to do pair, you have to do quad by using the 12, 13. Okay, so anyway, you cannot remove these two also. So that either you consider this one or you consider this one. Suppose if you consider this one, now you can see 14, 15 is common in other group, but 12, 13 is not common. So okay, it is a selective prime implicant, right? So if you remove this one, you can see, 8, 9 is common here, but 12, 13 is not common. So it can be essential prime implicant. So you cannot see as if these two are as essential prime implicant. Okay, if you consider these two are as essential prime implicant, it is not correct. So these two are a selective prime implicant. So from these two, I have to consider the one prime implicant. So these two are the selective prime implicant. So these two are the essential prime implicant. These two are the selective prime implicant. Either you consider these two along this one, or you consider these two and this one. Okay, so these are about the essential prime implicant and prime implicant and selective prime implicant, right? So if we see, you can tell that in these two are the all are the prime implicants. These two are the essential prime implicant. These two are the selective prime implicant. From these two prime implicant, you have to consider the any one as a selective prime implicant. Right, I hope the today's lecture is clear for you, all of you. Then tomorrow next class we will discuss about the minimization of the expression by using the Quine-McCluskey method. So for that you should know about the essential prime implicant, and please like, share and subscribe my channel.